Hello friends, in the previous video we have seen the problem on stresses in beams type 1. Now here the type 2 is to find moment of resistance and loading on the beam. Here you can see the summary of important formulas. First, to find out the position of neutral axis by using the formula of y bar. We know that y bar is equal to summation of ay upon summation of area. Then to find out the moment of inertia. Already we studied how to calculate moment of inertia about Ixx and Iyy. The step 3, find the depth of compression and the tension zone. It is very important to find out the depth of compression and tension zone. In the step 4, to find safe stresses in the beam if maximum permissible stresses in tension and compression is given. Then in the step 5, to find out the moment of resistance by flexural formula by using m by I is equal to sigma upon y. Then in the step 6, to find safe load on the beam, find maximum bending moment for the given beam, then equate bending moment to the moment of resistance. These are the steps for this problem. Now here we will take university problem. See, different problems are there like a T section, I section, but the steps are same. See, you can see the problem is from May 2011, May 15, continuously repeated question for 10 marks. See the question, a cast iron beam section is of I section with the top flange 80 mm into 20 mm thick, bottom flange 160 mm into 40 mm thick, and the web 200 mm deep and 20 mm thick. The beam is freely supported on a span of 5 meter. If the tensile stress is not to exceed 20 Newton per mm square, find the safe uniformly distributed load which the beam can carry. Also find the maximum compressive stress. See the diagram, top flange is given, bottom flange dimensions are also given. Is the vertical wave dimension is given. You can see this dotted line, it indicates that the vertical center line of the given section. The diagram is symmetrical about this section. Dimension, that is, you can see this depth, that is 40, this depth is 200, this one is 20, this one is 80. You can see the base, that is 160. I section is given, and just we have to calculate safe uniformly distributed load which the beam can carry. And also we have to find out the maximum compressive stress. So we know that the first step is to find out position of neutral axis. Means we have to calculate y bar distance. To calculate a y bar, we know that first of all you have to calculate area 1, area 2 and area 3. Then y1, y2 and y3 as per the formulas. Here I am not repeating each and every step. We know that area is equal to base into depth, that is b into d. For A2, again you have to take b into d, area 3 b into d. So here we have the value of A1, that is 6400 mm square, that is 6400 mm square. Area 2, that is 4000 mm square. Area 3, that is b into d, that is 1600 meter square. We know that how to calculate y1, y2 and y3. Already we studied in the first year engineering mechanics how to take x1, x2, x3, y1, y2, y3. In this year, in the chapter of moment of inertia, already you studied how to calculate y1, y2 and y3. Similarly, y1 is 20 mm, y2 is 140 mm and y3 is 250 mm. After getting the value of A1, Y1, A2, Y2, A3, Y3, then summation of all the areas, you can calculate Y bar. So Y bar is equal to A1 into Y1 plus A2 into Y2 plus A3 into Y3 upon summation of all the area, that is A1 plus A2 plus A3. So the value of y bar, that is 90.66 mm. You can calculate the value of y bar, that is 90.66 mm. After getting the value of y bar, you can locate y bar, and after that you have to calculate moment of inertia. See here, I am not giving that much time to explain how to calculate moment of inertia, because already we completed a different section in the first chapter, that is moment of inertia. Here I is equal to Ixx1 plus Ixx2 plus Ixx3. We know that we have to use parallel axis theorem to calculate Ixx1, Ixx2 and Ixx3. To calculate Ixx1 is equal to Ig1 plus A1 H1 square, Ixx2 is equal to Ig2 plus A2 H2 square, and Ixx3 is equal to Ig plus A3 H3 square. Here we have the value of Ig1, Ig2 and Ig3. Formula for Ig1, that is BD cube by 12. For Ig2, again BD cube by 12. And for Ig3, the formula is BD cube by 12. For every rectangle, we should aware with the dimensions, base and depth, base and depth. So for first, base is 160, height is 40. So 160 into 40 cube by 12 plus A1, we have the value of area 1, and H1 is nothing but the distance between y bar and y value. Now the y bar, already we have the value of y bar, that is 90.66 minus 40. Y bar and y, difference between y bar and y, that is H1, while calculating Ixx. So similarly, here you will get the value of H2, difference between y bar and y for the second rectangle. For the third rectangle, the value of H3 will be difference between y bar and y. And the formula is same. After putting the values, you will get Ixx1 is equal to 17.27 into 10 raised to 6 mm square. Ixx2 is equal to 23.07 into 10 raised to 6 meter raised to 4. Ixx3 is equal to 40.67 into 10 raised to 6 mm raised to 4. Now we have the value of Ixx1, Ixx2 and Ixx3. After addition of Ixx1, Ixx2 and Ixx3, you will get the entire value of I, that is moment of inertia, 81.01 into 10 raised to 6 mm raised to 4. See, you can see this diagram. This one is the given diagram. You can see this given diagram. From baseline, this is a very important point, that is the neutral axis. Y bar is passing through the neutral axis. See, you can see the neutral axis. From base, you have to take distance y bar. You will get centroid point here. And in that centroid point, the horizontal axis will pass. That axis is nothing but neutral axis. Above the neutral axis, you can see the compression. Below the neutral axis, that is tension, that is sagging condition. For simply supported beam, you can see this one is the simply supported beam already given in the problem. So YT, that is this dimension, YT is nothing but y bar. So y bar dimension is 90.66. So YT is 90.66. And the total distance, that is 260. So this top distance YC is 260 minus this YT, that is 90.66. Answer is YC is equal to 169.34 mm. Now we have all the values. We have the value of sigma t, we have the value of I, and we have the value of YT. You can calculate moment of resistance. Here, the value of moment of inertia we have. Sigma t is given in the problem. You can see tensile stress is not to exceed than 20 Newton per mm square. So we can use that 20 instead of sigma t. So sigma t is equal to 20, and YT we have already calculated the value, that is YT. After putting the value here, please do the necessary correction. Here you have to put the value of yt. After putting the value of yt, you will get the value of moment of resistance. You will get the value of m is in kilonewton into meter. Now, after getting the moment of resistance, the next, we know that for simply supported beam of uniformly distributed load, m is equal to w into l square by 8. We have the length, that is phi. So we have the value of m, we have the value of l. After putting the values, you will get the value of w is in kilonewton. You can see here that we will be safe UDL. So very simple problem. First of all, you have to take area, then y1, y2, y3, then y bar, then moment of inertia. After getting moment of inertia, by putting the values of yt and yc, you can calculate moment of resistance. After calculating moment of resistance, you can calculate safe UDL by using formula m is equal to WL square by 8. Very simple formula is there. By using this, you can calculate the value of W. The next lecture, we will see another problem. Thank you. Thank you very much.